Well, obviously a CIO needs to know everything that is going on with a CFO, but what are the top priorities that every CIO should know of the CFO? Here to answer that, we welcome in Susan Nunziata, Editor-in-Chief of CIO Insight. Welcome in, Susan. How are you?
I'm great, Tyler. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. So let's go ahead and let's get right to the chase. Let's get into it. You know, the very first one on here that I'm going to go ahead and get to is, top 3 concerns for CFOs. This is something that CIOs need to understand, is that healthcare costs, the need to control spending and improve profitability, and staff morale and motivation. Focus on these 3 for me.
Well, I think, what this intends to do is really give the CIO some insight into the things that are not technology related, that are really top of mind for chief financial officers, so that when you go in there looking for your technology budgets and your spend, you have some understanding of these very real employee issues that the CIO needs to worry about. The CFO needs to worry about.
Now, one thing when I'm looking at some of these different things, I'm looking at all the different ones out here. This is one right here. 119% is the increase in premiums for employer-sponsored family health care coverage between 1999 and 2009, according to a national coalition. I want to focus in on that more. Go into that a little bit more about the health care costs, because that's one thing I feel like a lot of CIOs possibly don't really consider at the end of the day, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's not going to be top of mind for you. Certainly it comes up if you're dealing with human resources and things like that, but it's not going to be the first thing you think about when you're thinking about your technology expenditures. And so it's a very real expense for businesses, and it's something that goes up every year, and anyone in human resources or in finance will tell you that this is a very real problem for businesses, but it's not something that the CIO is always going to think about.
Now, when we're talking about the CIO, obviously, those first 2, I can almost understand, the loss of, medical expense, everything like that. But what about morale? That is one thing I really, really am struggling to understand why even a CFO has that as a priority, let alone a CIO needs to be worrying about that.
Well, employee morale is basically the number one concern when it comes to things like productivity, retaining your top talent, and in today's economy, where it's very hard for companies to offer salary compensation and salary increases, they may be asking employees to carry more of that healthcare cost burden, then morale becomes a big issue, because it can infect and affect the entire spirit of the company and really have a bottom line impact on productivity and how people work. And so it's something that CIOs and CFOs struggle with, particularly when they're facing really tough economic decisions and tough budget times.
So there you have it, folks. Healthcare costs, how to control spending and improve profitability, as well as staff morale and motivation. Those are the things that all CIOs need to be paying attention to when it comes to their CFO. Susan, great stuff as always. I know it was short-lived today, but honestly, thanks so much for taking time out of the day to jump on the show with us.
Great to be here. Thanks, guys.
Awesome stuff. Susan Nunziata of CIO Insight. Folks, we are going to take a break, but we've got a little bit more CIO Insight coming your way right here on the Pulse Network.